Okay, students. See, today, yes. So today we start a first statistic. Okay. So before starting a first statistics, first of all, I would like to recall normal distribution. So have you remember normal distribution?
Yes.
Yes, I recall you. So who has discovered normal distribution?
I think aware.
As you remember it, it was first discovered by de Moivre in 1733. Okay. Say, can you define normal distribution? So just I'm defining a random variable x is said to follow normal distribution. Remember it with mean mu and variance sigma square. If its probability density function is given by function of x mu sigma is equal to 1 upon sigma root 2 pi e minus half x minus mu divided by sigma whole square. So here the range of x and mu ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity. And remember it, your sigma is greater than 0. Okay? And it is, where's the mu, remember it, mu and sigma square is known as parameter of the normal distribution. So if, and we write, if x is normally distributed with mu sigma square, so in slide you can see like this. So x follows normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square. Then z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma is known as a standard normal variate. So remember it, if x follows, x is what? That is random variable. So if x follows normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square, then z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma is known as a standard normal variate with mean 0 and variance 1, and it is written like this: z follows normal distribution under bracket 0 comma 1 and a square of a standard normal variate. So remember it, and a square of a standard normal variate is known as chi-square variate with 1 degree of freedom. So again I am repeating, because in defining f statistics we use chi-square variates. First of all, I would like to clarify what is the meaning of chi-square variates. So that's why I started normal distribution. Okay. So if x follows normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square, then z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma is known as a standard normal variate. Okay, with mean 0 and variance 1, and a square of a standard normal variate is known as chi-square variate with 1 degree of freedom. Now if we generalize it, so if we generalize it, then in general, if xi I from 1 to n are independent normal variates with mean mu and variance sigma square, then chi square is equal to summation I from 1 to n xi minus mu divided by sigma whole square with n degree of freedom. Okay. So remember it. So if you generalize it, then chi square is equal to summation I from 1 to 1 xi minus mu divided by sigma whole square with n degree of freedom. So now you remember it, a square of a standard normal variate is known as chi-square variate with 1 degree of freedom. And now you see in the slide, so in the probability density function of normal distribution, 1 upon sigma under root 2 pi e minus half x minus mu divided by sigma. So in this probability density function, if we put x minus mu upon sigma is equal to z and sigma is equal to 1, then you will get like this: 1 upon root 2 pi e to the power minus half z square. So this is the probability density function of a standard normal variate, and it is represented by phi z. So phi z is equal to 1 upon root 2 pi e to the power minus half z square. So e, that is your exponential. So and the range of z is also ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity. So remember it, the range of your z or x or mu ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity. And you also remember that normal distribution is a continuous variable. It is continuous distribution. Remember it. See, have you remembered what is the meaning of chi-square variate? Yes? No? Not clear? Hello?
Yes,
I
yes.
am audible or not? आप
Yes,
लोग मेरी
sir.
आवाज सुन रहे हो ना? हेलो?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
वेरी
Yes,
गुड.
sir.
मेरा कहना था ना कि एफ स्टैटिस्टिक को
Yes, sir.
डिफाइन करने में काय स्क्वायर वेरिएट
Hello.
का इस्तेमाल होता है, समझ गए ना? इसीलिए मैं पहले बता देना चाहा कि काय स्क्वायर वेरिएट का क्या मीनिंग होता है. क्लियर? अब हम लोग आते हैं एफ स्टैटिस्टिक पर. ओके, सो नाउ वी कम टू द एफ स्टैटिस्टिक. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एफ स्टैटिस्टिक इज आल्सो नोन एज योर Snodker's F test. Remember it, Snodker's F test, because it is developed by, it is discovered by Snodker's George W. Snodker. Okay, and it is also developed by R. A. Fisher in 1920, and it is also known as variance ratio test. So in design of experiment, we can we have discussed if a statistic is also known as variance ratio test. So remember it. So now I would like to define what is the definition of if a statistic. Okay. Say it is also mentioned on the slide. So if x and y are two independent chi-square variate with nu1 and nu2 degree of freedom respectively, then if a statistics is given by f is equal to x upon nu1 divided by y upon nu2 with nu1 and nu2 degree of freedom. Okay. So now it is clear. So if x and y are two independent chi-square variate with nu1 and nu2 degree of freedom respectively, then f statistics is given by f is equal to x upon nu1 divided by y upon nu2 with nu1 and nu2 degree of freedom. So remember it, nu1 minus 1, it indicates the degree of freedom for numerator part, and nu2 minus 1, it indicates the degree of freedom for denominator part. So this is the definition of your if statistics. Okay. So now we come to the application of if statistics. Okay. So first application of if statistic, that is to test the equality of two population variances. So remember it, what is the first application of if statistic? So this is to test the equality of two population variances. So suppose you want to test the equality of two population variances, then we apply F test. Okay. So remember it, if two population variances are equal
Yes,
or
yes.
two independent estimates of the population variances are homogeneous, then we can apply F statistic. Okay. So the formula of F statistic is equal to F is equal to S square X divided by S square Y with N1 minus 1 and N2 minus 1 degree of freedom. So here I would like to remember, please remember it. So this is the variance ratio test. So the variance containing large value we take in numerator part, and the variance which has less value we take in denominator part. So according to different situations, remember you always put the variable which containing large value in denominator and less value in, oh sorry, numerator. So the variable which contains large variance we put in numerator part, and the value which contains less variance we put in denominator part with their respective degree of freedom. Okay. So here s square x is equal to nothing but 1 upon n1 minus 1 into summation xi minus x bar whole square, and s square is equal to 1 upon n2 minus 1 into summation j is equal to 1 upon n2 yj minus y bar whole square. So n1 is the what? N1 this is the first sample size, and n2 this is the second sample size. So xi is your first variable and yj your second variable. So the range of xi varies from 1 to n1, and the value of z varies from 1 to n2. Our unbiased estimate of common population variances sigma square obtained from the independent samples. तो यहाँ पर मैंने रिमार्क्स में लिख भी दिया है कि ग्रेटर ऑफ द टू वेरिएंसेज एस स्क्वायर एक्स एंड एस स्क्वायर वाई इज टू बी टेकन इन न्यूमरेटर एंड n1 corresponds greater variances. ये क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं जी? हेलो, नाउ इट इज ओके? ओके.
Yes,
So
sir.
this formula is very simple. So f is equal to s square x divided by s square y. So s square x, this is known as your simple variance for x variable, and s square y, this is known for simple variance for y variable. And we know that what is the formula to calculate variance. Okay. So s square x is equal to 1 upon n1 minus 1 into summation xi minus x bar whole square, and s square y is equal to 1 upon n2 minus 1 into summation j is equal to 1 to n2 yj minus y bar whole square. So are the unbiased estimate of the common population variances sigma square obtained from the independent samples. Okay, so now we may write one example. So have a pen and copy. So just we'll write this example. So just I am speaking, okay? So now I am speaking. Pumpkins were grown under two experimental conditions. Pumpkins were grown under two experimental conditions. Two random samples of 11 and 9 pumpkins show the sample standard deviations of their weights. So these sample standard deviations of their weights as 0.8 and 0.5 respectively. Assuming that the weights distribution are normal, assuming that the weights distribution are normal. Test the hypothesis that the two variances are equal against the alternative hypothesis they are not equal. So have you written example? Have you written or again I am repeating? So now I am again repeating. Pumpkins were grown under two experimental conditions. Two random samples of 11 and 9 pumpkins show the sample standard deviation of their weights as 0.8 and 0.5 respectively. Assuming that the weights distributions are normal, comma, test the hypothesis that the two variances are equal against the alternative hypothesis they are not equal. So here you are given two random sample of 11 and 9 pumpkins. So the value of N1 you may write the value of N1 is equal to 11 and the value of N2 is equal to 9. Similarly, suppose one random sample is represented by X and another random sample is represented by Y. Okay. So you are also given the standard deviation for X is what? That is 0.8 and the standard deviation for Y is 0.5.
5.
Clear? And in offline mode, we have discussed that. Remember it, the formula to calculate population mean and sample mean are same. Now it clear? But the formula of population standard deviation and sample standard deviation are not the same. Why? Because sample mean is an unbiased estimate of population mean. That's why the both formula to calculate population mean and sample mean are same, but sample standard deviation is not an unbiased estimate of population variances or population standard deviation. That's why it is divided by 1 upon n minus 1. So that's why I am here, I mentioned in the slide. So remember it, this is the capital S square X. This is the population variances for X. And this is the population variances for Y. And here, this is in right hand side, you will get this is your small x. So this is the sample variance for X and S square small x, this is sample variance for X and S square small y, this is sample variance for Y. So for to convert in unbiased, we multiply it by n1 divided by n1 minus 1 and similar. So S square x is equal to n1 upon n1 minus 1 into S square x and S is capital. Remember it, this is cap in left hand side we have capital S square x, capital S square y, and in right hand side we write a small s square x and a small s square y, that is sample variance for X and sample variance for Y. Okay. So in right hand side we have written like this because sample variance is not an unbiased estimate of population variances. So why we multiply by this? Because sample variance is not an unbiased estimate of population variances. Okay. So now we write the formula to calculate F statistic. So F is equal to S square X divided by S square Y. So simply put, So remember it, capital S square x, this is the population variance for x, and capital S square y, this is the population variance for y. So this is equal to n1 upon n1 minus 1 into s square x, that is a small x, and whole divided by n2 divided by n2 minus 1 into s square a small y. So this is very simple mathematics. So here you are given the value of n1 is equal to 11 and the value of n2 is equal, hello. So simply put the value of n1 and n2 and a small s square x and a small s square y. So after substituting this value, say if in place of n1 we put 11, in place of n2 we put 9, in place of s square x we put 0.8, and in place of s square y we put 0.5 and simplify it, then you will get the value 2.5. Okay, so we verify it. This is simple algebra. And here you are given, remember it, this is the variance ratio test. So here you are given the table value for F statistic, that is F under 10 and what. So you have numerator degree of freedom is n1 minus 1. So that is 11 minus 1 is equal to 10. And in denominator, your degree of freedom is n2 minus 1. So 9 minus 1 this is equal to 8. So this is written like this, F under suffix we will write 10, 8. So 10 indicate the degree of freedom for numerator part and 8 indicate the degree of freedom for denominator part. And under bracket we may write 0.05. So this is the level of significance, that is level of significance is our 5%. So here you are given the degree of freedom of table value for F statistics at 5% level of significance for 10 and 8 degree of freedom is equal to 3.35. And your calculated value of F statistic is 2.5. So now you proceed further. Now you simplify it, this simple algebra. So here you have seen that calculated value of F, that is 2.5, is less than tabulated value of F, that is 3.35. So result is our non-significant. And in this situation, we accept H0. So what is our H0? That is population variances are equal. That is sigma x square is equal to sigma y square. So hence we conclude that population variances are equal. So have you any problem?
No, sir.
प्रॉब्लम
No,
नहीं
sir.
है, बोलो.
No, sir.
हाँ, वेरी गुड, सिंपल है, उसको सिंप्लीफाई कर लेना. एक हम दूसरा एग्जाम्पल दे रहे हैं, एग्जाम्पल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, समझ गया ना, इसलिए इसको ठीक से ध्यान से देखना.
जी सर.
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एग्जाम्पल है. अब हमको बताओ कि नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का कितना पैरामीटर होता है, बताओ.
2 सर.
हाँ, दो. कौन कौन?
2 सर.
हाँ बोलिए,
दो.
कौन कौन है?
म्यू एंड
हाँ, इसको हमेशा याद रखना, म्यू एंड सिग्मा स्क्वायर. ओके, इसी पर हम
सिग्मा
एग्जाम्पल दे रहे हैं, आप लोग लिखो.
X बार.
वेरी गुड, लिखो. अनदर एग्जाम्पल लिखिए. two random samples gave the following results. Two random samples gave the following results. फर्स्ट कॉलम बनाओ, उसमें लिखो सैंपल. सेकंड कॉलम बनाइए, उसमें लिखिए साइज. And in third column you may write sample mean, and in last column you may write sum of squares of deviations from mean. So again I am repeating, in first column you may write sample, in second column you may write size, in third column you may write sample mean, and in the last column, that is fourth column, you may write sum of squares of deviations from mean. So under sample we may write 1 and 2. Under sample we may write 1 and 2. When 1 indicates your sample number 1 and 2 indicates that is sample number 2. Then we come to the size. So you are given the sample size. For first sample is equal to 10 and for second sample is equal to 12. See, in the size you may write 10 and 12. Then under sample mean column we may write 15 and 14. So your sample mean first sample is 15 and for second sample is 14. Then you come to the fourth column. So the sum of a square of deviations from mean. So for first sample you may write 90 and for the second sample you may write 108. Then you may write test whether the samples come from the same normal population. Test whether the samples come from the same normal populations. So now how we can proceed? We have to prove that whether the samples come from the same normal population. So how we can proceed? Now you may write. So we know that normal population has two parameters, that is mu and sigma square. So you have to test mu, what indicates, that is mean, and sigma square indicate that is the variance. Means you have to test the equality of variances and equality of mean. Say for testing the mu and variance says, so mu is what? That is mean, and sigma square is equal to what? That is population variances. So in this example, first of all, you have to test the equality of two population variances. So what are the assumptions to test the significant difference between two samples mean? बताओ कोई, मैंने assumptions बताया था कि टू सैंपल्स मीन को डिफरेंस को टेस्ट करने के लिए क्या assumptions है? बोलिए, याद नहीं किया तो कल भी पढ़ा था, परसों. बोलो.
Population from which
हाँ, याद रखना. यस, वेरी गुड. मतलब कि populations variances are equal. Remember it. To apply the a statistic to test the significance difference between two samples mean. So under the assumptions that sigma x square must be equal to sigma y square. If sigma x square is not equal to sigma y square, then we cannot apply the statistic to test the formula of to test this mean of two samples. Okay, so that's why first of all we test the equality of two population variances, and if it is equal, then we proceed to test the equality of two samples mean. Otherwise we cannot proceed it. Remember it. So first of all we test whether two variances, that is sigma x square is equal to sigma y square or not. So if it is not equal, then we cannot proceed to test the equality of two samples mean. Okay. So first of all, we write the null hypothesis, that is H naught sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. So here sigma 1 square, this is the population variance for first sample, and sigma 2 square, this is the population variance for second sample. ये क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं, ये बताओ हमको. हेलो, समझे कि नहीं समझे? देखिए हमको साबित करना है कि जो सैंपल्स आया है वो नॉर्मल पॉपुलेशन से आया है कि नहीं आया है. कोई दिक्कत नहीं. तब हम इसको क्या करें, हम जानते हैं कि नॉर्मल पॉपुलेशन का दो पैरामीटर होता है, एक म्यू होता है, दूसरा सिग्मा स्क्वायर. तो मतलब कि हमको टेस्ट करना होगा कि दोनों सैंपल मीन आपस में इक्वल है कि नहीं है, और दोनों सैंपल का जो वेरिएंसेज है वो भी आपस में इक्वल है कि नहीं इक्वल है. यदि दोनों इक्वल हो जाएगा, मतलब ये साबित हम कर देंगे कि μ1 इज इक्वल टू μ2 और सिग्मा 1 का स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू सिग्मा 2 का स्क्वायर, जब साबित हो जाएगा तब हम कह सकते हैं कि सैंपल से मेरा सेम नॉर्मल पॉपुलेशन से आया है. ओके, इसी के लिए मैंने ये assumptions है. Test the significant difference between two sample mean. Your assumption is that population variances must be equal. That's why first of all we test whether our first population variances is equal to second population variances or not. So now we frame H naught, that is sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. Then we apply a first statistic. So we write F is equal to S square X divided by S square Y. So again we write S square X is equal to, remember it, in X it represents the first sample and Y it represents your second sample. So this where S square X is equal to 1 upon N1 minus 1 into summation Xi minus X bar whole square. So now we remember this statement of this formula. That is, this will summation Xi minus X bar whole square means. So what in your question you are given the value of this, that is summation Xi minus X bar whole square is equal to 90. So in the formula S square X is equal to 1 upon N1 minus 1 into summation Xi minus X bar whole square. So in place of N1 we put 10, and in place of summation Xi minus X bar whole square we put 90. Similarly, to calculate S square Y, so this is equal to 1 upon N2 minus 1 into summation Yj minus Y bar whole square. So in place of N2 we put 12, and in place of summation Yj minus Y bar whole square we put 108. इसे बंद कर दो. Okay. So if you put so if you calculate the value of s square x, so this is equal to 10, and if you calculate the value of s square y, so this is equal to 9.82. So the value of s square x is more than the value of s square y. That's why we put s square x in numerator part and s square y in denominator part. So simply we may write f is equal to s1 square divided by s2 square is equal to 10 divided by 9.82. So this is equal to 1.018. So here also you have seen that our calculated value is less than tabulated value. So you are given the tabulated value, but natural 1.018 is very less than your f calculated value. Here you are given the value of f calculated. There is 2.90. Remember it. Your table value is 2.90. So here you may write f calculated, that is 1.018 is less than f tabulated. That is under bracket you may write 2.9. The result is non-significant. The result is non-significant, and we accept H naught. So H naught is what? That is sigma 1 square equal to sigma 2 square. So now we accept this statement. So here you have proved that sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. That's why we will proceed to test the equality of two samples mean. So remember it, if sigma 1 chi square is not equal to sigma 2 square, then we cannot proceed to test the equality of two samples mean. Not clear? So here we have proved that sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. So now we proceed for testing the equality of two samples mean. Under the null hypothesis, mu1 is equal to mu2. Against the alternative hypothesis, mu1 is not equal to mu2.
Not equal to mu2.
Yes, definitely. Now we may write the formula to test the significant difference between two sample mean. So we have already discussed it. So simply we may write t is equal to x bar minus y bar divided by s under square root 1 upon n1 plus 1 upon n2 with n1 plus n2 minus 2 degree of freedom. So I have already discussed in the last class. So the value of s square is equal to 1 upon n1 plus n2 minus 2 on the bracket summation xi minus x bar whole square plus summation of yj minus y bar whole square. So simply put, in place of n1 we may write 10, in place of n2 we may write 12, and you are given the value of summation xi minus x bar whole square equal to 90, and you are also given the value of here summation yj minus y bar whole square is equal to 108. So if you simplify it, then the value of s square equal to 9.9. Now we may simplify it. So after simplification, you will get the value of s square equal to 9.9. Then you write the so in place of x bar simply put 15, in place of y bar you simply put 14, and in place of s you simply put under square root 9.9, under bracket the value of n1 is 10 plus 1 upon 12, and after simplification you will get the value of t is equal to 0.742. Now you verify it. So here you have calculated the value of t is equal to 0.742. So again we may write here t tabulated for 20 degree of freedom at 5% level of significance is 2.086. So you are given here the value of t statistic at 5% level of significance or 20 degree of freedom is 2.086. So here you have seen that here also the calculated value of t, that is 0.742, less than tabulated value of t, that is 2.086. So the result is non-significant and we accept H0. That is mu1 is equal to mu2. So in this example, we have proved that both, that is sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square and mu1 is equal to mu2. That's why populations have come from the same normal population. मैंने साबित कर दिया कि दोनों पॉपुलेशन वेरिएंसेज भी आपस में इक्वल है और दोनों पॉपुलेशन मीन भी आपस में इक्वल है, इसीलिए हम कह सकते हैं कि नहीं, जो मेरा सैंपल्स आया है सेम नॉर्मल पॉपुलेशन से आया है। क्लियर हो गया नहीं? हेलो,
Yes, sir.
हाँ,
Yes, sir.
वेरी
Yes,
गुड।
sir.
हाँ ठीक है,
Yes,
उसके
sir.
बाद एप्लीकेशन नोट कर लो। नेक्स्ट एप्लीकेशन है, नेक्स्ट एप्लीकेशन आप लोग नोट कीजिए, लिखिए, हम नोट्स हम दे देंगे तुमको, स्लाइड भेज देंगे, इसमें दिक्कत नहीं है। लिखो एफ टेस्ट फॉर टेस्टिंग द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ, नेक्स्ट लिखो एफ टेस्ट फॉर टेस्टिंग द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ मल्टीपल कोरिलेशन कोएफिशिएंट, एफ टेस्ट फॉर टेस्टिंग द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ मल्टीपल कोरिलेशन कोएफिशिएंट। नेक्स्ट लिखिए एफ टेस्ट फॉर टेस्टिंग द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ observed sample correlation ratio, F test for testing the significance of an observed sample correlation ratio. And next you may write F test for testing the linearity of regression. And then you may write F test for equality of several mean. F test for equality of several mean. So your first application is that to test the equality of two population variances. Second application, F test to test the significance of multiple correlation coefficient. Then third application, that is F test for testing the significance of an observed sample correlation ratio. And fourth application, that is F test for testing the linearity of regression. And fifth application, that is F test for equality of several mean. So I have written the formula for second application, that is for testing the. So you may write for testing the significance of multiple correlation coefficient. Suppose R is your multiple correlation coefficient. So under H0 you test R is equal to 0. So under this you may write F is equal to capital R square divided by 1 minus R square into n minus k minus 1 whole divided by k. Again I am speaking R square divided by 1 minus R square into n minus k minus 1 divided by k with k n minus k minus 1 degree of freedom. So here R is the observed multiple correlation coefficient. Here I have written, and n is the sample size and k your other variates. So here R is assumed multiple correlation coefficient, n is the sample size and k is the other variates. Simply write the formula. Then we write the statistic to test the correlation ratio. So you may write F is equal to eta square divided by 1 minus eta square into n minus h divided by h minus 1 follows F statistics for a small h minus 1 comma capital N minus a small h degree of freedom. So again I am speaking F is equal to eta square divided by 1 minus eta square into capital N minus a small h divided by a small h minus 1 follows F statistics. Under bracket we may write a small h minus 1 comma capital N minus a small h. So under the H naught population correlation ratio, that is eta yx is 0. So here n, remember it, n eta is, this is your correlation ratio, capital N, this is the size of the sample from bivariate normal population. So here eta, this is correlation ratio, capital N, this is the size of the sample from bivariate normal population and arranged in H arrays. So remember it, a small h indicates the numbers of arrays. So again I am speaking the formula for third application, that is capital F is equal to eta square divided by 1 minus eta square into capital N minus h whole divided by a small h minus 1 follows F. Under bracket we may write h minus 1 comma capital N minus h. Under the H naught population correlation ratio, that is eta yx is 0. So here eta, this is correlation ratio, capital N. That is size of the samples in bivariate normal population, and H is the number of arrays. Then you come to the fourth application. So you may write the formula for fourth application. So fourth application, that is F test for linearity of regression. So F test for linearity of regression. For a sample of size capital N, arranged in H arrays from a bivariate normal population. So again, I am speaking, if capital F is equal to eta square minus r square divided by 1 minus eta square into capital N minus h divided by a small h minus 2 follows F statistic. Under bracket we may write F h minus 2 comma n minus h. So here eta is the correlation ratio, r is the correlation coefficient, and capital N, this is the sample size, and h is the number of arrays. So your last application, that is F test for equality of several mean. So you have already discussed in designs of experiment in ANOVA. So remember it, in Viva Voce examination or interview, you will be asked which statistics is used in ANOVA. So remember it, in ANOVA, F statistic is used. So you always remember it, in ANOVA, we use F statistic. So now we come to the what is the relation between t-test and f-test. Okay. So remember it, there are 5 application of F statistic. Now we come to the what is the relation between T and F distribution. So if T follows T distribution with n degree of freedom, then T square is equal to F under bracket 1n. So now we remember it, the relationship between t-test and f-test, that is T square is equal to F under bracket 1n. सब लैपटॉप रखे हो ना जी, क्या डेरा पे लैपटॉप है ना? हेलो हेलो,
Yes, sir.
इसको आप चेक कीजिएगा। देखो लेवल ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंस आप फिक्स कर लो सब दोनों के लिए, टी के लिए भी, मान टी के लिए हम 5% रखते हैं, तो एफ के लिए भी हम 5% रखेंगे, कहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। मैंने आपको बता चुका था एफ ऑफलाइन क्लास में कि किस तरह से हम लोग एक्सेल में टी टेस्ट का मान निकालते हैं और एफ का मान निकालते हैं, ठीक है। तो उसमें आप फिक्स करोगे कि देखो मान लें कि मैंने टी के लिए 5% लेवल ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंस लेते हैं, उसका डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम मैंने 12 मानते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। तो उसी तरह से 1 पर ही देखोगे, माने टी समझ रहे हो ना, तो यहाँ भी हमको एफ में क्या रखना होगा, 10 रखना होगा। देखो ठीक से समझो इस चीज को। लेवल ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंस दोनों का फिक्स करेंगे, मान लेते हैं 5% पर है, तो मान लो कि डिग्री फ्रीडम 10 लेते हैं, तो डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम टी
Yes,
टेस्ट
sir.
का मान देखेंगे 10 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम के लिए 5% कितना नहीं, और फिर उसको स्क्वायर करो, तो स्क्वायर करोगे तो देखोगे वे वैल्यू जो ए वैल्यू का है 1 रखेंगे 1 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम पर, और 10 रखेंगे तो सेम आएगा। समझ रहे हो? नहीं तो एक एक्सेल
Yes,
में
sir.
भी खोल के रखे हो तो हमको बता के दिखाओ। कोई पास में है लैपटॉप?
Yes, sir.
हाथ काटो चेक करो,
Yes, sir.
बताओ
Pass में है, sir.
होता है कि नहीं हमको बताओ। याद रखिएगा कि न्यूमरेटर का डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम ऑलवेज 1 होना चाहिए। समझ रहे हो ना? एफ टेस्ट का हमको न्यूमरेटर का डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम ऑलवेज क्या रखेंगे? 1 ही रखेंगे, याद रखना। केवल डिनोमिनेटर चेंज करेगा। समझ रहे हो? हेलो, करके बताओ, दिखाओ हमको जल्दी।
Yes, sir. Yes.
10 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम पर लेकर देखिए, हमको बताइए। फॉर्मूला हम बोल दें जी, याद है? पहले तुम लिखो कि हाउ वी कैलकुलेट द वैल्यू ऑफ टी स्टेट, लिखो ना, फॉर्मूला लिखा देते, भूल गए होगे। बोले कि याद है?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
हम बोल दे, लिखो इज इक्वल टू,
हो जाएगा।
याद है कि बोल दे?
याद याद है
बोलिए
सर।
सर, बोल
हाँ
दो।
याद है तो हाँ बताइए हमको।
टी इनवर्स आई एन बी
नहीं, इज इक्वल टू
0 पॉइंट जो सिग्निफिकेंस लेवल ऑफ
इज इक्वल टू
डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम करके इंटर।
इज इक्वल टू लिखो, इज इक्वल टू साइन जरूरी है ना? एक्सिल में फॉर्मूला लिखने
Yes,
के
sir.
इज इक्वल टू साइन पर लिखो। लिखो इज इक्वल टू टी आई एन वी अंडर ब्रैकेट 0.05 कॉमा 10 ब्रैकेट बंद करो। कितना वैल्यू आया? फिर से हम बोल दे रहे, धीरे धीरे बोलते हैं। लिखो इज इक्वल टू टी आई एन वी, छोटी ब्रैकेट स्टार्ट करो, फिर लिखो 0.05 कॉमा करो 10, और फिर छोटी ब्रैकेट क्या करो, बंद करो और एंटर मारो। कितना वैल्यू आया?
2.28.
हाँ
2.228।
हाँ, अब इसको स्क्वायर कर लो, नेक्स्ट सेल में जाओ, नेक्स्ट कॉलम में स्क्वायर करो इसका। स्क्वायर करना जानते हो एक्चुअली में ना? स्क्वायर कर दो, अलग कॉलम में लिख लो जो इज इक्वल टू,
Yes, sir.
2 पास में क्लिक करो, आ जाएगा इज इक्वल टू दिस इंटू दिस, लिखो आ जाएगा। स्क्वायर कर लिया? नहीं स्क्वायर हो रहा है? देखो
Yes, sir.
कोई
हो रहा
नहीं हो रहा है ना? हाँ करी।
4.96.
हाँ
4.964।
इस वैल्यू को बोल्ड कर लो, हाईलाइट कर लो इस वैल्यू को। ओके, अब दूसरा लिखिए, फॉर्मूला लिखिए एफ का।
ठीक है सर।
लिखो इज इक्वल टू एफ आई एन भी, लिखो इज इक्वल टू एफ आई एन भी ब्रैकेट ब्रैकेट 0.05 कॉमा 1 कॉमा 10 ब्रैकेट बंद, इंटर।
यस सर, बराबर वैल्यू आया है सर।
दोनों बराबर आ गया ना? हैं?
यस सर।
हाँ
Yes,
तो अब
sir.
सेटिस्फाइड हो गया ना कि जो फॉर्मूला लिखे सही है? तो ये रिलेशन को याद रखिएगा, याद
Yes,
रखिएगा कि जो एफ का जो मान होता है न्यूमरेटर का डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम ऑलवेज वहीं पर सही है, बदल दो तो नहीं सही होगा, समझा ना? ओके, so remember it, the relation between t test and f test is equal to t square is equal to f under bracket 1n। तो आज सब लोग समझ गए कि कोई दिक्कत किसी को है? हैव यू एनी क्वेरी?
नो सर।
नहीं है तो यहीं पर हम स्टॉप करते हैं।
No,
तीसरे
sir.
से हम एफ टेस्ट भी आपका खत्म कर दिए। अगले क्लास में हम आपका काय स्क्वायर टेस्ट शुरू करेंगे, ठीक है? इतना जितना बताए हैं उतना याद रखिएगा, कहीं कोई
Yes.
दिक्कत नहीं। आप कुछ होगा दिक्कत तो हमको अगले क्लास में फिर पूछना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, तो हम लोग स्टॉप करें।
सर
ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी
Yes,
मच
sir.
फॉर योर काइंड
Thank you, sir.
कोऑपरेशन।
Thank you.
इसी तरह से हम लोग मिलते रहेंगे। थैंक यू।
Thank you,
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir.
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड।